A wild one, as the Boston Celtics, who might have taken the most difficult path, but the C's are on their way to the finals for the first time in nearly 12 years. Jason Tatum, MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals, winning the first ever Larry Bird trophy. So fitting. Congratulations to him. Boston is elated. Here's Marcus Smart, who played through the pain.
Oh man, just finally, to be able to get over that hump and have a chance to, make it to the NBA Finals. This is every athlete's dream, is to get to that final stage and have an opportunity.
It's the biggest game of the season of my career, and I just had faith that we were going to give it all we had, regardless of the outcome.
So we've been responding all year, all season, to adversity. Today was the biggest test, not just of the year, but of our careers, to mentally come into a Game 7 away after losing on our home court, which was tough, and we got it done.
Big Perk, you know what? These Boston Celtics really like to put us on a roller coaster ride. So you tell me this. I know they got the JOB done, but a girl was scared. Do you feel better or worse about Boston after that series?
Oh, I feel better. I feel better because, Molly, it goes back to what I've been preaching all along about how stellar and how great they are defensively. See, look, when those shots are not falling and you're not being able to see those driving gaps to the basket, guess what? You got to hang your hats on the defensive end and get stops. And again, in the Game 7 last night, the Miami Heat shot 42% from the field, 20% from the three. They had 96 points. And look, that's what you want to hang your hat on, not letting the team score over 100 points. We saw Al Horford get down, buck his feet down, and kind of force Jimmy Butler into a pull-up three-point shot late into the game, where some may have questions. I don't. But at the end of the day, he made a great contest. He got the rebound. Look at the way that they scramble. People keep wanting to praise and talk about the offense and things of that nature. I look at the Boston Celtics, and I'm going to keep harping on this. One of the best defensive teams I've seen in NBA history, period.
I'm not going to throw any shade on the Eastern Conference champion Boston Celtics. I think that they've got a phenomenal team. They've got an elite defense. They're a legit threat to win it all. There is no question about that. But speaking in the immediate aftermath, Kendrick Perkins, of what transpired in Game 7 last night, I don't feel better about them. I feel worse because of their decision-making as the game waned. They had a 13-point lead with a little over 3.5 minutes left and nearly blew it. Miami goes on an 11-0 run. Jimmy Butler, we'll talk about that decision because I didn't have a problem with it. We'll get into that later. Okay, he could have easily tied the game instead of going for the three to try and win it, which I don't blame him. And again, we'll talk about later. But it's the decision-making that I'm paying attention to. It's Marcus Smart jacking up 2 ill-advised threes, okay? It's them not finding Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to get the ball, to shoot the ball in the last 5 minutes. It's some of the turnovers that took place as well. Because it's not just about what you do. I'm imagining what would happen if you do it against certain competition. You do that against the Golden State Warriors, it's going to kill you. It's going to take you out of here. Because those are some sharpshooters. I mean, these brothers can really shoot some jump shots, okay? We know what they bring to the table. And so what I'm saying is that, again, Boston is a legit threat. They're incredibly formidable. Their defense is not good. It's not great. It's elite. They are on that level. But when it gets tight, there's a reason that coming into the Game 7, even though I picked them to win Game 7, and they ended up winning this series in 7 games, all right? The bottom line is there's a reason they were ranked 29th out of 30 teams in close situations as the game wanes in the last few minutes. There's a reason why people looked at them and they said there's some trepidation about the Boston Celtics in close games. When they beat you, they usually run away with it. In close game situations, it's a different animal because they don't have a true legitimate point guard. They got athletes, they got players, they got rough riders, they got a lot of guys with a lot of heart. They ain't scared, they got ability. But that true floor general is something that they're lacking. And I think
particular has defended Steph Curry as well as anybody has in the league. Even though they play in a different conference, the Boston Celtics are the only team with a winning record versus the Golden State Warriors. And so I anticipate a long series, a physical series. And on the perimeter, when you look at Marcus Smart and White and Jaylen Brown, who's going to play those minutes. And then on the other side, I mentioned those three, the Splash Brothers and Pools. Like that's going to be closely contested. But can the Warriors defend? That's what we got to pay attention to. Now think about some of the teams they went against. They were able to play against Luka, who was dynamic, and Spencer and Jalen Brunson played well. But, this is also going to be something different with Jason Tatum out there playing the way he's playing. And Jaylen Brown was terrific the entire series, other than his turnovers. Against the Warriors, it's going to be key to keep them turnovers down.
Absolutely. And when you look at the Warriors team, they don't have the defensive talent that the Celtics have, which is why I think this could be a long series. It's going to be the offensive firepower that the Warriors have against the defense that the Celtics have. And I'm glad you brought up Tatum because Tatum did make a superstar leap this postseason. Do you expect him to be able to put up the numbers that he put up against the Heat in games against the Warriors?
Well, when you look back at the journey, right, I always tell people when you're sitting in a vehicle, there's a reason why the windshield is far superior in size than the rearview mirror, because what's happening in front of you is clearly more important than what took place in the past. But when I look at the journey of Jason Tatum, you beat KD. You beat the Milwaukee Bucks, even though they were out Middleton and Giannis. Now you beat Jimmy Butler the way he's playing, and now you get a chance to go up against the Splash Brothers. This is what an Eastern Conference MVP looks like. This is what a potential Finals MVP looks like. If they're going to win, he will have to embody the Mamba mentality. Literally, not close the game the way they did yesterday. Not close the game the way they did yesterday. Because Marcus Smart was 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, 0 for 5. He was taking all of the last shots. That got to be Jason Tatum when we get to these NBA